Hello guys, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use make utility. Make utility which is depend on Makefile, in which we write set of instruction, or you can say tasks to be executed. In my previous video I have shown you how to compile C and C++ file together using GNU compiler. If you haven't watched it yet, please check it out in order to have a better understanding. So let's get started. This is a basic framework of Makefile in which we have target, dependency separated by colon, and the action which is going to perform on the dependency. For example, here is my target which is depend on dependency, that is object file. If all object files are present in bin directory, then the action is going to perform on this dependency, that is it is going to link all object files together in order to produce the executable. But suppose if the objects files are not present in bin directory, then I need to tell compiler to compile my object file first. In order to do that, I have written another target, that is the second target. So it will check first whether the main.o object file is present in bin directory. If it is not present, then it will go to the second target. Then it will check the dependency, and if the dependency is present in source directory, then it will compile my source file and it will create the object file in bin directory. Then it will come back to the initial stage, then it will check the second object file. If it is also not there, then it will call the third target. So this process will keeps on going, and once you have all object files in bin directory, it will come back to the initial stage and it will link all object files together and it will create the executable in bin directory. So let's have a demonstration. As you can see in my previous tutorial, I have shown you that we have created three directory. So first of all, you make sure that you have installed make utility in your system. In order to check, you can do make hyphen version. Now since I have installed make utility in my system, it is telling me that I have installed 4.1 version in my system. Now I'll create here Makefile. I am using Vim editor because I am more comfortable towards Vim. You can use any editor. Let me create first target here. I'll create a simple target called help separated by colon. I won't provide any dependency, and I'll use here one Linux command called echo, and then the double quotes print hello world. Okay, before that let me demonstrate the echo command. Suppose I use echo and double quotes hello world. So whatever string I'm passing in this command, it is going to print on my terminal, as you can see here. So same command I have written in Makefile. So what I'll do, I'll invoke make. As long as I'm invoking make, it is going to check my Makefile and it will check for the first target, that is the help. So whatever the action I have written in that target, it is going to execute. As you can see, it has print my hello world along with the command. But right now I don't want this command to print. So to avoid that, what I'll do some modification in my Makefile. Let me add at the rate in front of, okay, sorry. Okay, let me add at the rate in front of my command, and don't forget to hit a tab in order to differentiate between action and target. So let write and exit, and if I invoke make again, you can see it is only printing hello world. So it has hide my command here. Now Makefile, you can give comments using hashtag. Let me create some variable here. I'll create my first variable target. I'll tell you the use of variable after some time. In target, I'll give my value as main, or you can say name of the executable file, and then include directory. Before that, I'll include source directory, include directory, bin directory, and then In my cc variable, I'll mention my compiler which I'm going to use, that is G++. Let me use another variable called sleep flags. Hyphen I. In order to use this include variable, you can use by specifying $sign and then parentheses and name of the variable. Again hyphen capital W all, that is the warning all. While compiling, it will print each and every warning. And then okay, that's it. Now what I'll do, whichever source file are present in source directory, I'll just create one more variable called source, and I'll include all this source file along with the proper path in source variable. So let me create one variable called source, and I just go to source directory and include everything. That is, first I'll include .c file. Asterisk is used to check whichever .c file are there in your source directory, just include it here. And if I, okay, let me do some changes here. Instead of hello world, I'll print my source variable. So dollar, before that source colon, and then my variable here, that is source. If I do make, you can say it is printing source forward slash asterisk dot c, but it is not printing my files. In order to include my files, I'll use some functions which is there in make utility. Let me call wildcard. When I use wildcard, you can see now it will print my first .c file, that is the led.c file along with the path name. So I have included the name of my file along with the proper path. So let me include other files as well in source variable. To do that, what I'll do, I'll copy this piece of line as it is, and let me print it here along with space. Don't forget to change .c extension from .c to .cpp. And if I do make again, you can see now I have all my source file along with the proper path in source variable. Let me include object file with the proper path name in my another variable called object. So in order to do that, open Makefile, create another object called create another variable called object, and then just use function of make utility. So what I'll do, go to source variable colon and convert .c file to .o file. Let me print here another command, and I'll print here object variable. If I invoke make, you can see it has converted my .c file to .o file, but it has not converted .cpp file to .o file. So for time being, we will skip this .cpp file and we will just convert .c file, that is the led.c file, to proper name along with the okay wait, here. So we will just give the proper desired path, that is the bean forward slash and led.o. You can see right now it is source led.o. So what I'll do, I'll skip this source directory. I'll just filter out my led file from rest of the file. So in order to do that, I'll use another function called dollar and then just filter. What do you want to filter? I want to filter .o file from rest of the file. So rest of the file is this text. And if I write an exit and invoke make here, you can see it has it has filtered out my .o file from the rest of the file. But the path is not proper. I want the path should be bean forward slash led.o. So in order to substitute that, what I'll do, I'll use one more function called dollar and then It's not a directory. So let me show you output first. If I invoke make, it has removed my source directory. Now let me substitute bean in front of file name. To do that, what I'll do, I'll use another function called path substitute dollar and then path substitute. What I want to substitute, that is the pattern, and then substitute bean in front of my file bean, and then sorry, it should be capital as it is a variable name, bean forward slash and then my file comma and then the text from for which I need to do replacement. If I do write an exit, if I invoke make, you can see now I got my file along with the proper path in my object variable. That is the first file bean forward slash led.o. Now same way what I'll do, I'll include all my other files. To do that, you just copy same piece of line as it is and paste it here along with space. Change .c extension to cpp and invoke make again. You can see I have included all my object file along with the desired path in object variable. Right now we haven't created any object file. It is just a path, proper path in a variable. What I'll do now, let me separate these variables from my target by commenting here. Now as I told you, we need to create some target. So let me create this first target. So what I'll do, go to bin directory and create the target. So target is nothing but executable file, target space then colon and then my objects files. But as we have already included the proper file name along with the desired path in object variable, what I'll do, I'll just mention my variable object here. Don't forget to give space here or tab. Now we will perform some action. Now consider all my objects file are present in bin directory. So what we'll do, we will link all object files in order to create the executable in bin directory. So to do that, I will just print echo and then I need to print linking. Now in order to include this command, what I'll do, I have mentioned my compiler name in cc variable. So what I'll do, I'll just include my cc variable here and consider all object file which is present towards right hand side of colon. To include that, we will use some wildcards dollar cascade which is going to include all object files which is present towards right hand side of colon, and then put the output that is hyphen o in my target. This is the path. Go to the bin directory and create the executable file. So in order to use this path, I'll use another wildcard called dollar at the rate. You can see here. Now once this is done, let me print at the rate echo and then finish. Okay guys, as I told you, if all object files are present in bin directory, then the linking process will start. But if it is not there, then I need to create the rest of the target in order to create the object file. But this is the proper hard-coded method, a method which I'm not going to follow. So instead of this, what I'll do, I'll use some implicit rule which is present for make utility. So what I'll do, I'll mention my directory name where I want to create my output. Go to bin directory and then person dot create my first cpp files colon, which is depend on the source file which is there in source directory, person dot cpp. Okay, sorry, instead of cpp this should be O because I'm going to create my object file. So let me write first implicit rule for CPP file. Here what I'll do, here I'll mention echo compiling. Let me give command or the action which I'm going to perform on dependency. So to include my compiler name, what I'll do, use the cc variable and then minus compile. What I want to compile my dependency which is present towards right hand side. To include that, I'll use wildcard call dollar and then open angle bracket to include the first file and then put the output in my desired path, that is the bin directory. So to do include this proper path which is present towards left hand side, I'll use wildcard call dollar at the rate. That's it. Now once it will come here, it will call the implicit rule first. Then it will go and it will check whether the relay.o file is present. If it is not there, then again it will call the implicit rule. So this implicit rule which we have written, that is for CPP file. Now I have to write implicit rule for .c file as well. So in order to do, what we will do, we'll copy these three piece of line and I'll paste it here. Instead of .cpp, I'll make it C. Okay, so far so good. Now let me include two more target called clean, which is going to clean everything from my bin directory, including object file and executable. So to do that, I'll use Linux command remove minus recursively forcefully go to bin directory, and remove everything. In order to remove everything, I'll mention asterisk. Now let me include another target called run. This target is used to execute my executable file or to run my executable file. But suppose if the executable file is not present in bin directory, then this target is useless. So indirectly this target is dependent on my dependency. So let me mention dependency, go to bin directory and target should be there, target, and then perform the action dot forward slash and just execute this executable file. To include that, I'll use wildcard dollar open angle bracket. That's it. Now just write and exit. If you can see I have created my Makefile. If I make here, you can say it is compiling. Oh, I got a fatal error saying that it is not able to find .h file. So I haven't included my C flags in my compilation command. So let me include here dollar and C flags. Same thing I have to do here, dollar C flags. Right and exit and invoke make again. You can see it has successfully compiled my all source file and it has created my executable here. If I do ls, you can see I have my directory along with Makefile. I'll go to bin directory and I'll do ls. So I have created my all object file along with the executable here. Let me go one directory back and what I'll do, make run. So as long as I'm invoking this my run command, it is going to produce output on my terminal. So if I use make clean, it is going to clean everything from my bin directory. So if I do ls in my bin directory, there is nothing. So what I'll do, I'll directly call make run. Now since run target is dependent on the dependency, that is the executable file should be present in bin directory. If it is not present, then it is going to create and then it is going to produce the output on terminal. So let me hit make run. As you can see, it has again compile all source file and then it link my all object file to create the output on my screen. So let me show you one more thing. What I'll do, I'll go to source directory and I'll change one of my source file. Let me change my relay file. What I'll do, I'll just delete this space, extra space, save and exit. Go one directory back, and if I do make again, you can see it has only compiled my relay.cpp file. As you know, it is an advantage as no need to compile entire files when we do changes in one of the file. Makefile will automatically compile only those files where changes has occurred. You know, generally in long code or project, Makefile is widely used in order to present project in more systematic and efficient way. Let me show you another issue which you might face. That is, if I create a file called clean here, let me create first file, touch, and then create a file called clean. You can see I have created a file called clean. If you want to see the timestamp, you can do ls minus la. You can see it has created at 18:56. Now, if I try to make clean, it is telling me that make clean is up to date. Now, there is a conflict between this clean file which I have created just now and the target which I have mentioned in my make file. So basically, make utility is getting confused between this clean and the target which we have created in Makefile. So in order to avoid this, what we have to do, we have to include one more target in my Makefile called .phony colon, and then include all targets which is not going to produce any output file. So let me add first clean, run, and help. Right, and exit. Let me clear everything first. You can see the clean file is still there, but if I invoke make clean again, now it is able to execute my command. So if you do ls in bin directory, there is nothing. Okay, I'll open my makefile again. So guys, as I told you, I'll tell you the use of a variable here. The use of variables are, suppose now we already have given our commands here. Suppose instead of g++ I want to use another compiler, so you can just do the modification here. Suppose I want to use gcc, mention the name of the gcc here. So it is very easy to do modification instead of going to the target and changing command everywhere. So let me use g++ here. So that's it for today, guys. You can clone this project from my GitHub account. I'll provide the link in the description. And stay tuned for my next video in which I'm going to show you how to use CMake utility in order to generate this makefile. So no need to write this makefile. You can generate it using CMake utility. Once again, thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.